We're now joined by COO of Verv, Maria McKavanagh. Welcome to the show, Maria.
Thank you for having me.
Maria, we have some fun facts about you. Apparently you once hitchhiked all the way from Manchester to Morocco.
Yeah, 4 days. So yeah, we broke some records there, but yeah, running a startup's harder. I'll say that.
You're not a bit nervous?
Yeah, I mean, my bodyguard was my friend Frank, who I think was more useless than me. So I probably should have been more nervous, but just young and didn't know about the world, so it didn't matter so much.
Why were you hitchhiking?
It was a charity thing, so you had to basically get from Manchester to Morocco for free. As quickly as you could, so it was good.
And quickly tell us about the donut policy at your office.
Yeah, so this started as a security policy, basically. So we found that people kept leaving their laptops unlocked, and we were in a co-working space in the earlier days, and just the problem of anyone could see that information. All our information is obviously our patents and things like that is really sensitive. So if someone has time to run to your laptop, send an email to the whole team saying donuts on me, then you have to buy donuts, and it's always Krispy Kremes for the whole team, which was kind of okay when there was 9 of us, but now there's 50, so it's really expensive, which means it doesn't happen too often now, which is great.
I can imagine. Are you ready to pitch?
Yeah.
Okay, you've got 10 minutes.
Okay, thank you. So at Verv, we are on a mission to drive electricity bills down to zero. So we do that through unlocking the hidden value in electricity data. So we have 2 main products in our offering. So I'm hoping some people will be familiar with our Verv Hub, which we crowdfunded for through Crowdcube last year. And it basically connects to your electricity meter or smart meter and gives you more insight into your electricity bills. We have now added the Verv Connect product, which brings a control element to the Verv offering. So I'll look at those in a little bit more detail. So we have a current clamp that connects around the main electricity line coming into your home, and that we sample at up to 1 million times a second, which allows us to disaggregate the different appliances in your house with just one sensor. So you can think about it a bit like a microphone with lots of people talking at once. The Verv Hub is like a microphone listening to lots of appliances talking at once, and we can separate them using machine learning. So not only can we tell which appliances are on and how much they're costing you, we can in fact even tell if they're starting to break down or experiencing a fault. Verv Connect takes that one step further. So not only can we detect the faults in these appliances, but we can also switch them off. So you can imagine if your washing machine was starting to experience a fault, we could turn it off potentially before it floods your kitchen, which is good news for insurers as well as consumers. So there are a whole range of benefits, and I don't have tons of time today to go through them all, but it falls under 2 main categories. So there's protection, so protecting you in your home, so the washing machine flood example that I talked about before. Also, because we know which appliances are on, we know if they haven't been turned on. So if you imagine an elderly relative may not have turned the kettle on in the morning, we can remotely ping you to say, your granny hasn't turned her kettle on, maybe just go and check if she's okay. Then the other side is the energy side, which is giving you more insight into your appliances and showing you how much they're using so you can make more informed decisions about them. And at the same time, there's a grid element to it as well. So we can facilitate demand side response to help balance the grid more effectively. So it spans a lot of use cases. So I want to take a deep dive into just one appliance to talk about the data side of this and how valuable the data that we're unlocking is. So if we know how many times your washing machine's been on, we could partner up with someone like Tesco, who would automatically ship your washing tablets after the wash has been on 20 times. In addition, I talked about the insurance example before, and also someone like National Grid. So with the power quality analysis we can do in your home, we can provide them more information on how to balance the grid, which stops things like blackouts. So one even further step we can go then. If you know, so from what we've done in the past, we can see, okay, these are the appliances you've used, these are when you use them. We can actually build up a demand profile of your home, and we can predict the future more accurately than anyone else in terms of what you're going to use. So not only from your usual routines, but we also know which appliances you have on right now. So this morning, I boiled the kettle before I went to work to make tea, and my Verv would know okay, she always does this and she's not going to use more energy until 6 o'clock this evening. If I turn the washing machine on just before I left though, I'm going to use a certain amount of energy for the next, say, 3 hours. So we can use that information to decide if I, for example, if I had a solar panel, do I need to keep that energy for me using it through the day, or could I sell that to a neighbour? So we add that onto solar forecasting, so we can tell through weather data and cloud coverage information through satellites how much energy solar panels are going to use. And then if you have battery storage at home, and I'm sure anyone who's passionate about this industry is probably looking into it if they don't have it already, we can see if you have enough energy in your battery or you need to buy some more. And through that we can build a peer-to-peer energy trading community. And we've actually already done this in Hackney, where we did the first peer-to-peer energy trade on the blockchain back in April. So we have a whole range of patents that this technology is built on. I don't have time to go through them today, but you can Google it. Yeah, we also have these patents obviously lead into how we compare with our competitors as well. The high level view is that we basically sample much more quickly than everyone else, and that's how our algorithms work. So basically through this really high speed data, we can get greater insight than our competitors. So you'll see a lot of disaggregation out there, but things like condition monitoring and trading based on forecasts is not so common. So our market is definitely global. So Verv is compatible in all the countries you can see in the dark navy, and our US offering is coming soon, starting with the Verv Connect product first. This slide goes into the 3 kind of main products that we'll bring Verv Connect to first. And through all of this, in the past year, we've seen a huge amount of traction globally, and this was something we didn't expect when we crowdfunded last time. We were very focused on the UK, but through programs like, sorry, I thought I had an earlier slide, Free Electrons, we have been given a global audience through coming in the top 15 startups in the world in the energy sector, and that has resulted in a whole range of projects and exposure from the Middle East to Asia and across the water to Ireland. This has also resulted in a huge amount of press coverage with over 300 pieces in the past year. We've also won a Vodafone accelerator, adding on to our original Google Launchpad accelerator a few years ago. How am I doing for time?
Good, I think you've got another 2 minutes. Roughly.
Okay, let me fly back to the team. Sorry for changing the order slightly. So yeah, we have a very experienced C-suite. We added Michael Darry since last year. He joined us from SSE Connected Home, where he was a director. And also Steve Foster, he was the ex-MD of Opus Energy, and our CEO, this is his second venture, so he also has a consultancy business as well. Our team has been growing, so we went from 9 to 50 very quickly. We've added more data scientists, blockchain developers, platform engineers, which has really allowed us to take the product from a proof of concept to a production quality product. And that is me, so I look forward to the questions, and thank you very much for having me.
Thank you, Maria, that was a great pitch. Questions?
Marvellous. Well, first of all, it's good to have you back. Sounds like you've been very busy over the last year or so. So in terms of that global traction then, you touched on the US, you touched on a few other options. Where's next? Where else are you going to go?
So yeah, the Middle East is a big focus for us right now. So we took investment from Energy Middle East, and we've got DEWA, so in Dubai, so it's the Department of Water and Energy there, and we've got some really interesting trials happening there. And then beyond that, Thailand is very interesting. Australia is quite far forward in terms of renewables. So there's some of the ideas, but there's definitely some closer to home as well, which we'll be able to talk about soon.
So in terms of this market then, the kind of sustainable energy market, in fact, it sounds like you touch on a myriad of different markets, from machine learning, data, predictive analytics, like renewables. Why is this growing so fast?
So I think it's really, we're all very aware of climate change, and I think particularly changes in politics right now have got everyone interested in it. And with even things like plastic, I think we're all very concerned about the mark that we're making on the planet. And that has come at the same time as people are getting really into technology. So like Tesla made battery technology really sexy. Like the energy industry is just becoming a bit more exciting. So I think at the same time, those two things have developed. So like a general interest in wanting to do good things and having a really techie smart home. So the two have kind of added together, and there's been a nice synergy.
Yeah, no, it certainly is growing really quickly. How do you, I suppose, work alongside some of those big players in the market, and how do you differentiate from them?
So when you say big players, do you mean kind of in the smart home or in the...
So I suppose I'm talking about some of the big energy firms that are starting to look into some of these similar products. They've obviously got a lot of capital to play with. You're obviously raising your Series A, which is fantastic, but can you outmaneuver them in terms of your speed of launch?
So we're definitely very quick compared to what I've seen, and like we've been in this industry a while, and we're really proud to partner with a lot of the big energy companies. Okay. So I mentioned our energy trading community in Hackney. In January, we're actually partnering with Centrica in order to actually change the bills of the residents based on what's been generated on the roof. So we've seen a really good kind of innovation from these companies, and I think they know they need to partner with startups to develop it quickly, which is why they are partnering with us. So it's definitely a partnership rather than a competition. Okay. And I'm hoping we can work together to help them put the customer at the center of what they're doing, because that's been lacking for so long.
Sure.
That's a good question as well. You were Google mentored as a company. What did that involve?
So that was an accelerator program that basically went on for 6 months, and we had effectively desks at Google Campus, which is here in London, and then every Friday, we would have lunch with a different entrepreneur who had exited their company. There were workshops on presentations, like advice on our pitch deck, and it was an amazing program, and to have access to all the experts at Google, we got introduced to the likes of Nest and things like that, and wow. We presented at King's Cross, so at their HQ. So just getting that exposure was amazing, and getting the feedback so early on, and things like a pitch deck that you don't think, or you think, I can fire something together, like it's fine, and they're like, no, you need an expert pitch deck, and it made a huge difference when it came to us raising investment.
Okay. I suppose lastly from me, so what are you most excited about over the next couple of years? You've had an amazing 3 years. What's next?
I think that what I've seen really happen in the past 2 years from us is we have moved from having a really amazing piece of technology, and like I'm an electrical engineer originally, so like seeing that like little bit of innovation and something really cool, and like I just think the graph of all the appliances together, I find that interesting. Making that move into, but what does the customer actually want, and delivering to the mainstream while also innovating on technologies like using blockchain for peer-to-peer energy trading has really seen us position ourselves as thought leaders. So, we've been speaking in the House of Commons, like we've spoken to different government ministers, and they're really looking to us to see how we should do things. Working with Ofgem, them having us in the Ofgem sandbox so that we can do all this, just knowing and feeling like you're really like leading the charge from the UK. I think the nicest bit of feedback we had was from a large US company, I won't say the name of, but they called us and said, look, we really want to do some peer-to-peer energy trading, and we know the UK is leading the way, and Verv's leading the UK, and it was just so amazing that someone was able to find, that's press coverage, that they've been able to find that, so just being at the forefront of it's really amazing, and I hope and I pray that like through all this, we need to make sure that we stay kind of at the cutting edge of the technology and always keep our little innovation arm, even though the production side's going so big.
Great. Thank you. Thanks, Maria. Sounds like you're doing a great job anyway.